So, Star Trucker is a truck driving simulator that was announced back in June 2023, and it's a game that has now released as a full release on both PC and the Series X. And this is a game that I've been really excited to play just because of how much I enjoy other truck driving simulators like Euro Truck Simulator 2. So what we're going to do in this video is go through if I believe this is worth playing or not. And I will say the game is £20 like if you're buying it through Steam, or it is available and has been available as a day one launch for Xbox Game Pass. So if you have that membership, you can play it, like download it and play it at no extra cost. So jumping into this, one of the biggest things that let me down about the game, now this isn't to say that it's an awful game, but one of the things from the very, straight out of the gate that let me down was the fact that there is pretty much no accessibility. You've got an incredibly low amount of different graphical options and stuff you can change, which isn't a massive thing. The biggest thing is the fact that you cannot remap your controls whatsoever. You are stuck with default controls. And when it comes to the default controls, in order to use your air brake or your handbrake, you have to click in and hold your left analog stick. So it would have been nice, especially in this day and age when it comes to gaming, to be able to remap the controls, but it is entirely impossible. And as I said, this is a full release. This isn't early access, so I don't know if they will ever add that ability into the game or not. But once you're in the game, one thing I do really like about it is the fact that you can set it up so that you can experience it exactly how you want. There are a few different preset options, like you've got the ability to change it so that it focuses more on the mechanic side of things, or you can change it so that you don't have to do as much maintenance, you can just focus on the driving side. However, there are also custom settings, so that for an example, if the only thing you want to change is there not being any fines or anything for traffic offences, you can literally start a brand new game and just turn that off. So what I did originally was jumped in on the recommended settings and then I smashed into a truck, got a traffic offence fine. So I closed out of that game, deleted that save, started a fresh one where I changed it so that I basically turned all of the maintenance and everything down to a minimum to just focus on the driving aspect with small bits of maintenance here and there and no traffic offences because I absolutely hate them. And there is one setting where it should essentially turn down the space trash, little bits of debris floating around. And it seems as though when you change that setting to low, to have a low amount of trash floating around, it actually makes a lot more appear. And I mean a lot more. And when you're driving around and there are little bits of debris, you get warnings on your heads-up display, your dashboard in your truck, which is really helpful. But and I totally get his space, but one thing that was a little bit frustrating playing the game is that when you do hit into a little rock or something like that, there is so much impact. I feel as though the impact should have been toned down quite a bit, or there should be an option to turn the impact, the depth of impact down. And what you can do is you can choose to start with a tutorial job, or you can just go underway yourself. You can start off your own adventures and stuff. The tutorial job does a very good at showing you the ropes, explaining how to play the game and everything like that. The handling of the truck is weird because you're in space. When you start to turn, it starts off turning really slowly, but once you've turned about 45 degrees, it speeds up drastically, and it can make the truck really difficult to control. But skipping over the tutorial job and explaining things, as basically it gives you a little tutorial on how to get out of your seat, put your suit on, go through the airlock system, essentially float into space and go and fix damages to the chassis of your truck. But skipping through all of that, going into the jobs, basically what you do is you'll go to a space station, you'll go to the job board that's there, you will find a cargo that is suitable for you to deliver, you'll pick the cargo you want to take based on the distance it's going to be, based on how much money you're going to earn, and then you go pick up the cargo, you drive it to its destination, you drop it off, and that's exactly how you do those jobs. There are upgrades and stuff you can apply to your truck. You can increase its speed, you can increase the fuel efficiency, you can even increase the resistance of damage of your truck when you're hitting things. And as well as having truck damage resistance, you can get trailer cargo damage resistance as well. So there's lots of options when you're in the game to help improve the experience. It's just missing the accessibility, like remapping your controls and things. And then eventually, after you've done like a job or two, you'll get these people that start talking to you in what's known as a convoy, and they will have their own separate jobs. Like you have to take fragile cargo, you'll have to go visit people in what's basically like a little story for this game. And you don't have to go and do these jobs. They will unlock like upgrade paths and things like that. You don't have to go and do them though. You can just keep going to the job boards and playing the game how you want to play it. And there's also a paint shop and stuff. You can change the, like basically the livery that's on your truck. You can just paint it a basic color if you want to. So there's customization as well. Another thing I'd like to point out that I didn't really enjoy is the camera. There's a huge lack of camera options. When you're in the interior of your truck, the only thing you can do is either change to an external camera or you can zoom in. And when you're looking at the outside of your truck, so when you're in a third person perspective, you can change through a bunch of different cameras. However, they don't have one that's like a little bit zoomed out, like a far camera. You've basically just got like one rear view camera sort of thing, like one that's from the back of the truck looking forward, and then you have a bunch of different angles so you can look at the side of your truck and so on and so forth. However, inside the truck, attached to the dashboard, you do have camera screens. So you've got these screens that are going to display cameras. You get a docking camera, which is incredibly helpful for lining up your truck in like job board areas and things like that. You've got forward cameras, you've got rear view cameras, like there's a lot of camera options in terms of like being able to see different areas of the truck when you're driving, but I would have liked it to have a third person camera that's a little bit further away from the truck. But yeah, the game is missing a few camera options that I believe should be in there, so accessibility and camera stuff is lacking a little bit. There is an FOV slider, which like really helps out when it comes to looking at your camera screens, like your docking camera and stuff. But yeah, there's a few things when it comes to accessibility and everything like that I believe should be in the game, but they just don't exist, at least for the moment anyway. So overall, if you were to play this game, you like the handling of the trucks, you like the way the jobs are set up, this is a good game. It's not a game that's going to get like a 9 or 10, but at the same time, it's not a game that's going to get a 1 or a 2 rating. I would say this is like a mediocre sort of game. If I was to give it a rating based on what I've played, it would be something like a 6. It's like it's a truck driving simulator. If you enjoy that sort of game, there is a chance you'll enjoy this. But besides the setting of the game, like being in space and stuff, there's nothing else that really stands out about it. You do have all of your oxygen and things like that in your truck. You can essentially suffocate. There's all of your damage control. You actually have to change air filters. You have to go and refuel. There are some really cool features like that, but it's not a game that's amazing, while it's not a game that's awful. It's just like a meh. It's sort of like a mid-tier game in my opinion. So if you was to ask me, is it worth playing Star Trucker? I would say yes, it's worth playing, but it's not a game I would highly, highly recommend. If you're specifically out there looking for a truck simulator, I'd go play ETS2 or even ATS, so Euro Truck Sim 2 or American Truck Sim. But if you're into the genre of truck driving simulators and you want something new, refreshing, and something that's a little bit different, then yeah, this is a game that is worth playing. So when it comes to the question, is it worth playing Star Trucker? I'm going to say yes, but again, it's not a massive recommendation. I wouldn't scream from the rooftops about it. And on that note, we are going to leave the video there. Let me know your thoughts and stuff about this game in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next one. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching.